roll out a first-of-its-kind service. It's to help delivery drivers that help keep this city moving.
All right, officials say they plan on opening hubs specifically for delivery workers, giving them a place to charge up, rest, and even get their bikes repaired. Arthur Chien has more on the pilot program.
Low on pay, long on hours. The hardships of being a delivery worker are felt daily, but are especially highlighted during unrelenting rainfall. Their reality, plenty of nights, there is no shelter.
If the phone is not the waterproof, so it's very big problem. We cannot take order so when we get the request, we have to go to any building, like we need a roof because of the rain. We drop the water, then the phone is damaged. That's the main problem.
The city estimates there are 65,000 food delivery workers and says for the first time anywhere in the country, they will have hubs to safely charge their batteries, their cell phones, and themselves. The first step, $1 million in federal funding championed by New York Senator Charles Schumer.
They're constantly out on the street, no place to rest, no shelter to protect them from tough. Imagine it's pouring rain or even snow, and you still got to do this.
The city says with the $1 million in funding on its way, it's now working with delivery workers to figure out exactly where the hubs are most needed. One idea is to convert abandoned newsstands to be used as sheltered recharging locations. The senator and mayor used a shuttered newsstand as a backdrop for their announcement Monday.
These vacant newsstands were perfect examples of how to properly use the infrastructure so that they can charge their batteries, they can take a break, they can get out of the inclement weather.
It was only this past January that a city law started requiring restaurants to allow delivery workers to use their bathrooms when picking up orders there. City officials say this is the next step to making their lives more humane and that these hubs should be up and running in a matter of months. On the Upper East Side, Arthur Chien, Fox 5 News.
You're watching the 10 o'clock news.
Well, City Councilor has a new solution to help cut down on the number of illegally parked cars, and it involves you.
All you'd have to do is report illegal parked jobs to the city, and you could earn some cash in return. Linda Schmidt has more on the polarizing proposal.
Well, anyone who turns in a driver who is blocking either a bike lane, a bus lane, a sidewalk, a crosswalk, or a fire hydrant could end up with a financial reward.
I think that's good because people really do block the bus lane a lot.
A new proposal would allow private citizens to take pictures or videos of vehicles blocking bus lanes and give them to the City Department of Transportation. If the driver gets a ticket and has to pay a $175 fine, the person who turned them in would get a reward worth 25% of the fine.
I think that's pretty positive. That way to engage the whole community, trying to make the place better.
I don't think we need self-policing. I mean, the police that we have that are highly trained are not trained well enough to handle us. And if we start policing each other, it's just anarchy. I don't think it's a good idea.
But Sam, who rides a delivery bike, says the streets are out of control with drivers blocking both bus lanes and bike lanes, leading to serious accidents.
Somebody got hit last week over here by a taxi. Too many people are dying on our streets every day, every week, year-round.
Brooklyn City Council member Lincoln Ressler is proposing the new law.
We want to empower citizens to take responsibility, to hold bad actors accountable, so that drivers start parking where they're supposed to park.
But right now, this is just a proposal. We will keep you updated if it ever becomes law. Linda Schmidt, Fox 5 News.
The MTA is celebrating a big milestone for the Long Island Railroad. Construction of the third track is finally complete. The new track stretches nearly 10 miles from Floral Park to Hicksville, and it's meant to increase service and reduce disruptions. Officials say it'll boost service by 40% along with other upgrades.
More reliable transit options, 53 reverse peak trains every weekday.
7 bridge replacements, 8 grade crossing eliminations, 5 station renewals, on time, under budget.
The new third rail is part of a multi-billion-dollar project to transform and to modernize the Long Island Railroad.
Well, drive-by shooter searching for a drive-by shooter turning a quiet Queens neighborhood into a crime scene after opening fire and hitting 4 cars and a home with people asleep inside.
It happened early Thursday morning in the very neighborhood where this viral video was taken, showing Councilmember Vicky Palladino confronting a man she says was staying at a known squatter house. Now neighbors are on edge, troubled by the direction that their neighborhood is headed. Sharon Crowley spoke to them about their concerns.
It's very quiet.
Quiet neighborhood?
Yeah, very quiet.
And
safe.
How long have you lived here?
Well, about like 20, 25 years.
This longtime Queens resident may feel safe, but some other families think differently. Police say someone fired a bullet into the front door of this family's home on 20th Road in the Whitestone neighborhood of Queens. The homeowners, who did not want to go on camera, tell me they are very scared. Police believe the vandalism was part of a crime spree. Investigators say the driver or passengers in this dark SUV fired shots at 4 cars parked on the street in this neighborhood. Fortunately, all the cars were unoccupied at the time. However, when the bullets smashed the glass on this front door, 3 family members were asleep inside. Luckily, nobody was hurt.
When they say bullet, that changed the whole thing for me, because now there's somebody with a gun that's going around doing, in the middle of the night, stuff that we gotta really be concerned about.
New York City Council member Vicky Palladino represents Northeast Queens. She recently went viral when she confronted a man she says was squatting at a house in her district.
What do you got in your mouth?
Weird.
She says she doesn't want quality of life issues driving people out of her district.
When you start to see 40-year-olds move out, early 50s, that's our tax base. This is what motivates and generates our city and our economy. And when you see them take their families, put their houses up for sale, and move just maybe 5 to 10 miles away to get out of here, that does bother me, yes.
Palladino says she'd like to see more police officers hired to patrol this district, and until then, she says she'll do whatever she can to try to make her constituents feel safe and feel like staying here, not moving out. Sharon Crowley, Fox 5 News.
Well, new funding for a lab at Queens College that tests wastewater for dangerous diseases. Congressman Grace Meng and other officials giving the school a check for almost $2 million. That lab has already been analyzing the wastewater at city hospitals. Officials say it has successfully predicted changes in COVID and flu rates 10 to 14 days before they're detected at the hospital.
And so the work here done in Queens will literally help save lives. And I hope that the whole city and the whole country, quite frankly, will continue to take more notice of the work that is going on right here in Flushing, Queens.
Now, in addition to COVID, the new lab will also keep track of other dangerous pathogens like polio and monkeypox.
Well, New Yorkers have a tool at their fingertips helping you find out if an NYPD officer has a history of misconduct.
All right, Antoine Lewis shows us the new online program from the Legal Aid Society.
Police transparency is the focus of Law Enforcement Lookup, a new online database launched on Monday by the Legal Aid Society.
So that there isn't a perception that there are constant backroom deals happening. You know, the public shouldn't be in the dark regarding the extent to which the NYPD adheres to their disciplinary matrix, for example.
The site has gathered officer misconduct records, including civil lawsuits filed, documents from NYPD internal investigations, complaints by the Civilian Review Board, and other reports that address an officer's credibility. Information from multiple agencies now under one portal.
For example, the CCRB released their own database, and then the NYPD has their own database. And then civil lawsuit data is released by the city law department. So already here you have 3 different agencies with data related to NYPD misconduct.
For roughly 44 years, police disciplinary records have been mostly shielded from public access by New York Civil Rights Law 50A. However, in 2020, amidst outrage and demonstrations over the death of George Floyd, state lawmakers repealed 50A as part of a series of bills aimed at police reform. But some worry the transparency of the database could put both officers and possibly the public in danger. Jillian Snyder is a former New York City police officer and is currently a lecturer at John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
Just having an officer second guess him or herself, that second that they're thinking about it and contemplating, well, What can I do that's not going to get me a CCRB allegation? That could cause jeopardy to themselves, can cause it to innocent people on the street.
In a statement to Fox 5, the city's largest police union said this isn't really about transparency. It's about advancing the anti-police narrative and making it easier for cop haters to target individual police officers. It's yet another reason that New York City police officers are quitting at record rates.
The Legal Aid Society admits that not all of the records are up to date. They have filed a petition in court seeking more documents from both the NYPD and the Department of Corrections. From the Upper East Side, Antoine Lewis, Fox 5 News.